Thank you very much, everyone. So I'm proudly representing my dear country, Congo, and I thank you for the attention that you have on the Congo. So my organization, Malaika, has built and now operates a school for 252 girls, a community center, and we build infrastructure wells. Every year we're building more wells. So we have 7 wells that impact more than 15,000 people, and we just launched our agricultural project that is teaching eco-farming, and the food that we're growing go to the school. We are in Kalibuka in the southern east of the Congo, so it's a small village where there's no water, no electricity, so it's a village that completely has no benefit of school education or health care. So the challenges why children are not attending school in the Congo mostly is because school, you have to pay to attend school. And a lot of families sometimes cannot afford to send their children to have education, or they start the first year, the second year, and then they dropped. So that was your question?
Yes, thank you. That's really helpful. And maybe I can just follow up on that, because it's good to hear that you've got a focus on girls. I think you said 252?
Yes, we're building the school every year. We're building more classrooms. So we started with 104 girls, and now we have 252. But we start at 5 years old because we believe that early childhood education is very important.
Yes.
And it's a free school.
Good. The Sustainable Development Goals, the global goals, have a focus on leaving no one behind. I wondered what your thoughts are on what you feel the major obstacles are for girls in Congo getting an education, and what can be done to try and overcome these.
Out of 59 million children that don't go to school worldwide, 7 million are not going in the Congo. And more than 70%, 60% are girls. So it's very important to put an emphasis on girls, because when a family has money to send their children, the first thing they do, they send their boy. So we need to try to close the gap between girls and boys attending school.
And have you any thoughts, any ideas, any projects that are specifically aimed to help that?
Yeah, I think it's a lot. We have a community center that we build with FIFA, and we have more than 5,000 people going to this community center, where we're offering program of sewing classes to the mothers, literacy to the fathers and mothers, to the youth, vocational training, where we're trying to talk about leadership, entrepreneurship. The problem comes from the source. You need to talk with the communities. That is is as important to send the girls attending school than boys. So the problem has to go spread out from the base with the parents, the community, and then growing. And to make understand to the children is not a boy culture, it's a boys and girls. I'm a girl power, but I like equality, so let's say boys and girls attending school.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
We've already talked a bit about the issue of fees and schools charging fees, and in principle, as I understand it, the policy of the government in DRC is that education is free, but in practice, many of the schools do charge fees. Can you say a little bit more about the difficulties this presents to families and the kind of practical consequences of schools charging fees?
But right now we are in a political situation and crisis, and it brings economical problems, because a lot of companies are laying down people, a lot of mining companies are closing down, a lot of companies closing down. So more and more this year we're seeing a complete decrease of children attending school because the families cannot pay their fees. Yeah. School, for me, as I'm a mother of 2 children, I do believe education should be free for any children in the world. And specifically in a country like Congo that is so rich and has so much potential. We need to increase the budget of education into our policy, into our government. That's key number 1. And the problem that of paying fees at school, it bringing more problems of a gap between rich and poor, yes. Discrimination. And that's where we have, but the thing is too, if the children don't pay, the parents don't pay fees for children, the teachers are not paid. And sometimes there's a lot of problems that parents start to pay teachers, and it brings more corruption, and the problem of results in the result exam of the kids. So for avoiding all these problems, we really have to invest into free education, primary, secondary, because now it's like the first grade is free normally in terms, but the children still have to pay.
I think you've implicitly answered the next question, which is, do you think the government of DRC focuses enough on education?
No. But I do believe in England too, I'm a mother. We need to invest even more into education.
I agree. And
the government has to increase the budget. Even if we're in year of election, the budget of education has to completely still increase every year in the same way as health issues in the Congo.
What, if anything, do you think is the role of donors like Department for International Development in pushing for an increase in spending on education in DRC?
We can help that, but what is very important that I'm seeing that over the years, 10 years that I've been working and setting up my foundation in the Congo, it's very important that we offer quality education. It's not only putting money into education, we need to be at the same level of a school that is in England or in New York or in Washington or in Belgium. The quality of the curriculum, the quality of the teachers training is very important to work with new technologies.
We're going
and
to
all
return.
these parameters. Our school, we're offering breakfast and lunch to our children.
Right.
We're offering sport activity, music activity, IT classes. So it's a very rich curriculum that we improve. We have the base of the Congolese-Belgium system, but we're improving with different parameters to make very high-quality education.
Thank you. My colleagues will return to some of those issues in the next few questions. Let me just finish my questions with...
There's a long question.
The political crisis. What do you see as the impact of the political crisis on education in DRC?
So I'm not into politics. I respect the president that is in power. My message, I met the Minister of Education National, and we were in a discussion together at the Clinton Global Initiative. And my concern that whatever we have in terms of politics cannot affect anything with education, because the people that we're serving now, the youth that we're teaching, will be the leaders of tomorrow. So it's very important that the base of Congo, I'm a daughter of Congo, and I believe in my education I'm able to give back, and that's what I want to see, the solution to come from the ground and for long-term solution, not a short-term solution where we're injecting money but we don't have a plan, a vision for long term, because you have a kindergarten, you have primary, secondary, but then you have university, and if you don't do university, you have all the vocational training that you need to emphasize. Not everybody wants to be a doctor, a judge, or lawyer.
Absolutely.
We want to have when I go to my mom's house and they have a problem with water, I want to call a plumber. It's so difficult to find a good plumber. So we need to invest in all these kind of jobs too, manual skill jobs.
Thank you very much indeed. Nigel.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning. We are dealing with the leaders of tomorrow, but with the conflict, let's pray and hope that they get to tomorrow, because clearly the absence of conflict does allow them then to get the education. Can you just say something about what impact the conflict is having on delivery of education, not just in the east now? We've heard from Larry earlier on in central Congo as well. This is going to have a huge impact, isn't it, on youngsters getting education?
I think the world is not at a good pace all over the world, and I wish my country was getting better. Over 20 years, that to see 6 million people that died, a silent conflict. Of course, the political situation as a massive challenge in what we live in now. But I do believe that we have to help them to strengthen their programs. I try when I have discussion with them to not attack them, to say, what can we do? The schools has to be a refuge for children to go eager to learn, even if there's conflict or not. The dream number one of any Congolese people is peace in the Congo, peace in the world. We want peace, we want our country to be developed. We want to study, but we want jobs, we want creation, we want an economical growth in our country. If we study and we have no jobs, it will bring crimes and instability in the countries. So the first thing if we have election or no election this year, we need a stability in the country. From what we see, I think election will be in 2018. So if election is until 2018, let's keep the agenda of education on the number one priority. Let's keep the agenda of health. Let's keep the peace, stability. Let's keep all these agendas still growing, not decreasing, but growing.
Yeah, how easy is it keeping that dream alive, though, when the conflict seems to be increasing in places like the central parts of Congo.
Brilliant.
You know, to work in a conflict, to work in a country like Congo, I never imagined our foundation will still be celebrating the 10 years. I'm at 10 years. We have challenges every day to implement the school, our programs, to pay teachers. An average salaries of a teacher in the Congo is between $40 and $60. At our school, we're paying them $350 because we really want their focus and they can give good quality teaching to our students, but they can afford to send their own children to school and they can give food to their own children. And you make happy employee, you make happy school, happy student. Of course, for me, I try to not be negative. I lost my dad when I was 5 years old. My mom didn't have any money to keep me. I grew up from families in Belgium and Switzerland. And for me, it was an appeal to go to see my mom and my country and to see what can I do. We have many challenges in the Congo. We have a war going on. We have everything that happening. But the youth, my generation, we believe in our country. We believe in our continent. We believe there's potential in the Congo, not only in sector of mining, but agriculture, tourism, and all the things that Congo can offer. And that's this Congo that we're dreaming. Maybe it can be a dream, but my generation, we want this change to make happen.
Don't you think the conflict is putting that in danger?
But the conflict is there since 20 years. But we're seeing in the last few years a completely new generation of entrepreneurs that we didn't see before. But I think it's very important to have discussion non-stop with the government and to let them know what we want. You as foreigners, but us as Congolese, what we want for our country, and to keep pushing the door.
Yeah. Do you appreciate that some youngsters clearly are not only not getting education, but some of them are actually getting involved in the conflict themselves? Have you any anecdotal evidence of young people who then leave the armed conflict, who then haven't had education maybe for a few years? Is there any specialist education being aimed and targeted at them to bring them back into the world of education?
There is some program, I think, that UNICEF doing and all these organizations doing, and it's very important. It's very important to bring them back to go to school and to education and to make them understand some children have been born in the war and still are there. It's important to make them understand that the world is not a war. There's other things than the war, and they can learn and they can do something with their lives without crimes, without begging, because I think the solution of Congo is not neither all these aids that we're receiving. We need to come to a compromise that we are developing ourselves too.
Thank you, John.
Nigel, thank you very much. Jeremy, thank you.
Good morning, and apologies for being late. When we were in Kinshasa, the Congolese Minister of Education told us that DRC doesn't struggle in terms of numbers of teachers, but the quality is a serious concern. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Both about the numbers and about the quality.
We have a lot of teachers, but it's like to recruit teachers at our school, we do a test. We do a test and we emphasize, we work with teachers from New York and Belgium. We emphasize a lot of teacher training. It's very important to emphasize on teacher training, but to emphasize on the curriculum. The curriculum of the local curriculum that is happening in the Congo needs to be non-stop review and update and be more concentrate of competing with any school in the world.
Thank you. And what about the language barriers? Do they present difficulties because of having, obviously, French as a language, but then lots of other languages such as Lingala, Swahili? Is that a barrier?
Yes.
In terms of teaching, particularly the technical subjects?
I think the main language at school in Congo are French, or sometimes it can be Swahili. But for moving forward, we need the French, Swahili, and we need to really put a big emphasis on English, because English is the common language. But a lot of countries in Africa now, maybe Mandarin. We have so many Chinese people coming. But English, French are to be the two main languages. But it's very important that we keep Swahili or Lingala too, because it's our culture. Our students, they arrive at school, they speak Swahili. So we have to teach them Swahili, French, and we teach English. but their culture has to be, it has to be their identity. We cannot say, okay, we're not going to teach you anymore anything about Swahili or Lingala or any languages that you speak.
If you take the case of Tanzania, the primary education is in Swahili, the secondary education is in English, and that has caused substantial problems over the years because children come in effectively learning their secondary education in a foreign language. Do you see similar problems in Congo where they're taught in one language at a primary level, another language at a secondary level, and effectively their education is set back by the change between languages?
I think it's important that we keep the same language, and I think most of the schools in the Congo are speaking French as the main language all the way from kindergarten, primary and secondary. And in a way, the curriculum is more based on the Belgium and Congolese curriculum, so it's French.
Thank you. And when we were obviously in Kinshasa as well, we spoke to some young women who wanted to learn English, but found it difficult to find the places to learn it. Is there we imagine there is a strong demand for English teaching. What opportunities are there for Congolese children to learn English?
The problem to learn English, most of them have to pay.
Yeah.
So anywhere you want to learn a different language or different skill, you have to pay. It's the reason at our community centers, all these programs are free. But we need to make more accessible the English language and more free. Maybe with all of you, we can create more teaching centers in English all over Congo.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Pauline.
Yes, you talked about vocational education earlier with plumbers. How well do you think the Congolese education system prepares children in DRC for vocational jobs?
There's not enough emphasis on that. There's not enough technical or vocational schools. And again, when people want to attend these schools, they have to pay. Or only a few training centers are being supported by Catholic or religious programs. So we have to make it more accessible because we have so many youth that are not going to school, not doing anything, and it's so important to keep them occupied and give them a job.
Yeah, so in that case, how do you think that vocational training should be targeted in DRC to ensure that the children are prepared for the transition from school to adulthood?
Yes, we need that for sure. And we need to work with the governments of education and all the other ministers to make it happen as a priority number one. As much as we emphasize primary, secondary, and university, it has to be at the same level of vocational training. And this way, all the children that didn't attend school primary, we can still give them a chance to become someone and have a job and have a dream and can feed their families and can have a house and have the basic.
Well, talking about university, what prospects do Congolese children have to progress to university and third level education? And do you think donors like DFID should focus more on this?
Yes, I think the issue with university in Congo is they are a good one. They have passionate teachers, but we need to equip them in terms of the curriculum, equip them in terms of refreshing their infrastructure, and of course refreshing their curriculum. And put a stronger structure and have more relationship between universities all over the world and have external exchange.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pauline. Jeremy.
From Pauline's question, one point that has been put to us is the importance of including within a curriculum at school life skills training to enable young people to be ready for the world outside, particularly around jobs and livelihoods. So things such as personal development, communication skills, things that will encourage the building of self-confidence in young people, and also perhaps the beginnings of entrepreneurship. Are those the kinds of things that you see, that you encourage, or are they very much outside the school curriculum?
No, we encourage that. We encourage that, and it's the reason we have the school and the community center where all of them, all the programs that we're doing are completely linked, and we do a lot of programs with the youth and the parents. And it's very important, not everybody can be academic and not everybody wants to be academic. It's important to have a chef, it's important to have an electrician and all this job. But it's important to emphasize that with the Minister of Education, that it has to be an agenda. It has to be a priority in whatever we do. And we have to give the chance. It's very important in a country like Congo that the self-esteem and the confidence, that's something that we need to build in every individual person in the Congo.
Thank you.
Can you say a little bit more about the role of education in empowering women in DRC?
So Congo is very complex, because if you talk with a woman that is in Katanga province or in Kinshasa or in East Congo, it's completely different, because they're living different things every day. A woman in East Congo will be first afraid of any sexual violence, of the war, of the conflict. A woman in the southern east, in Katanga, will have different problems every day. So what you have to do is really to unify the ideology, what a girl, what a woman want to be, and what is the aspect that they can have.
Our next witnesses today are the Minister from the British government and the head of DFID in Congo. What would you, if you were questioning them, what would you ask them?
Please push for peaceful transition the next few years, and let's have the Congolese building their own country, and let's hear what they want. For me, it's whenever I go to Congo, I sit down and I listen. I never wanted to impose a school or whatever. I listen what they wanted to do, what they wanted, what is the dream. And I think that's what we have to listen. I think Congolese, after all this, they don't deserve what's happening in the country, and we have a big role to play in the Congo. It's a country that is a key role for Africa, but we are at the stage where 20 years we completely failed to help the Congo. And it's time where we listen what they want, and I think they're ready to there's a new mentality coming up in the Congo. And this is this new mentality, this new generation that is eager to do something for their own country. They not have it for power or for money, but they want the best for themselves, and we have to write our own history. It's time where we're giving the pen to Congolese and say, give us the 10 points that you want to see, and maybe do like a mapping of all the country, all the provinces.
And on education in particular, is there something in particular you think DFID and the international community should be giving greater priority to than they are at the moment on education in Congo?
Yes, technology is very key for every school and for every university. I believe that that is something that we need completely to be. But technology means infrastructure, means internet, and all of that. So it's more wider. But like we say, the conversation, it has to be quality.
Thank you very much indeed. Yes, Jeremy.
I just wondered whether when we were in Lebanon last week and we noticed we were looking specifically at education.
So where you were, all of you?
Lebanon.
In Lebanon and Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were looking specifically at education, the education of the Syrian refugees, but also the education system more generally. And there is a DFID program which connects schools, and I think Lebanon had the highest number, from what we understood, of schools
connecting classrooms
yeah. Between the UK and Lebanon. And I wondered if this program, you had heard of this program, and whether it's available in DRC.
There's some school exchanging with other schools, but even us, that we have a very good, amazing school that we set up in the Congo. It's difficult, to have so much external exchange, because it's you need good good internet, you need good communication, and that's what we're missing. It's coming, but it's still slow, it's still expensive. So that's what we have really to put an emphasis to.
Yeah. Thank you.
And from what you've described, you set up a school that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm inviting you all to have a look at the school, malaika.org. I wanted to do school as good as any school in the world. So my son will tell you, the classroom of our mom's school is as big as mine.
And it's free.
It's free.
What are the barriers to more schools like yours being created in DRC?
That's what I would love to work one day with the government, is to make more school like that, where the children are looking forward to learn every day, and where the relationship with the teachers is so key. The main team, since 10 years we have the foundation, we have the same team, because they're happy and they know their role. The teacher understands the role that they have in terms of educating one individual person and an entire classroom. So we need to duplicate. We're writing a manual of operation, how we set up the school, and every year, of course, we're learning. We're making a progress report, what we make wrong, what we can improve, what's super great, and that's, I think we should have more exchange with a lot of schools worldwide, and offering with the Minister of Education how to implement more schools like that, or even the school that existing, how to rehabilitate them, that they become even something very, a part of the town and the village where the children go.
Can I say thank you very much indeed for your evidence here
Thank
today.
you.
Very, very grateful to you for joining us. And please feel free to stay to watch the evidence from the Minister and the head of DFID in Congo if you're able to. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your
indeed.
interest on the Congo. I think the Congolese people really appreciate it.
Thank you very much indeed.